Good morning. How's everyone doing today? All right, yeah. So the audio's on now. Sorry about that. I took off the background audio for now just to limit everything to make sure that the stream goes through as clearly as possible and there are no delays. LLY. I see a lot of people requesting that. Let's see. It does look pretty good. Thank you for whoever pointed that out. All right, let's see what we got here. Hmm. Keeps going gray. Not too sure on that one. I know I tested it out last night. Do the number test? Okay. All right, I'm gonna say a number. Just type it out in the chat. So 17. All right, sounds good. All right. And once again, I'm not going to be completely active in the chat here. I'm going to be posting on Discord as well, like as I would normally post, just to kind of keep everything consistent. So in that way, if you do miss, yeah, I'm going to put eyeing and all that on Discord. So just in case there is any on the live stream, although I'm connected directly to my router now, I don't think there should really be an issue. Uh, so we're going to see how that works, but I think that I'm gonna stay consistent with the chat as well. The audio is gone. Yeah, I'm gonna vocalize everything as well. I'm using TradingView for charting. So with that said, we have a minute to open. Really looking at SE, they had a huge price upgrade, but I think ExxonMobil will offer an entry at open. Yeah, we're still in run. All right, and there is market open. So let's see what's moving here. So far, RH is getting some slight movement. Let's see. Okay, that XOM 63 call. Looking at it right now. We're gonna see if we get some higher movement here. Let's see. If I was looking at the XOM call, it would be the 63 call. So that's going to be in the money call for this week, if I'm looking at it. I'll let you know when I'm really eyeing it, so. Alright, so we are currently at 0.96, 0.98. May be able to pull off a play on this. It's currently 0.92. Okay, I am going to buy in very lightly at 0.94 on this call. Okay, we're currently at 0.88. We're getting back some movement here upwards. The key level to break is 63.7. So there we're going back up. 0.91, 92. And there is our break upwards. Sometimes you just have to be a little patient with these. They may take a little bit to come around. Currently at 0.96. There's 98. There's $1 on XOM. So I'm scaling out some at $1 here. Alright, looks like everybody was able to get in on XOM. So this is working out pretty well so far. Let's see. Alright, there's XOM moving again. So I'm going to look to scale out the rest in a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep a stop loss at 0.95-ish, just so that gives us some room to get out, even at break even. Currently we're at 1.02 on this call. So I'm going to wait for a little bit more upside and then we can scale out the rest. Okay. Alright, there's 1.04 on XOM, 1.08, 1.1 is incoming. Wow, we had some really great movement there. There's 1.1. So I'm going to sell half of my runners here. So I'm only in with a very small amount. Once again, if you're going in and you have like one contract or so, the best thing to do is scale out towards the first or second exit. And wow, SPY is getting some huge upside here at open. It's at 424 from a negative close yesterday. And I'm going to exit all of my calls if that call goes below 1. So currently we're at 1.05. Let's see. You can see, what's their name? AMC is getting some upside here. Boeing. A lot of stocks are getting volume here with that SPY push. Alright. Yep. I'm going to actually exit the rest of XOM calls here just so I can focus on another play. So it's still green here, regardless of where you got in, but let's nail another play. So on to a new play. Let's see what we can get here. LLY looks pretty good. Let me see what the strikes are for LLY. Let's see. Alright, I am looking at the LLY 230 call for 611. For 611, sorry. I actually do like this call. So it's currently at, what, 1.24. So I'm going to, I didn't mean to say 630, my bad. It's 230, see. We're currently at 1.35, 1.4. Alright. Let's see. I think we may have missed a slight entry here. Yeah, I think we may have missed the entry on LLY. It's okay though, we'll nail another play. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. The 6:30 call, INSP. That was on my watch list last night, actually. So I couldn't get in on time with the LLY. If you got in, you should be green, but once again, I couldn't get in. It moved too fast for me. Uh, don't worry, we'll nail some other plays. Oh, SE might be a really great play. They got a huge price upgrade this morning, so I'm gonna pull up the strikes. I actually like this one if we can get a nice play. So I'd be looking at that 275 call if I entered. Let's see. The bid and ask are a little bit wide on that. So I'd have to see some volume. So I'm gonna pull up the 275 call for 611. And on Webull, you can favorite it to your watch list. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna favorite that call to my watch list, just in case we do get some upside here. So let's see, wrong page there, but 275 call for 611. All depends on if we get enough movement here, then I might take this play. But we have to be wary with SPY as it pumped probably like, about $3 or $4 from yesterday's close. Google, somebody just mentioned that one. Wow, Google popped off the charts. Let's see, what other plays do we have moving here? So there's Boeing. So I'm looking at SE here. I have a feeling we could kind of get an entry on this. I'm just waiting for this to come around. Now, in terms of taking this play, if I go in on this, I would take this as a light play, just because of the bid and ask. But essentially, I'm looking for it to break almost like 272 before I enter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an alert here. And essentially, once it crosses 272, it's going to trigger that alert. The lowest 200 call we cut some time ago. Now is coming back around. Let's see. What's everyone watching so far? AMC, Clove, Roku, those again. AMC does look okay. I think I'm gonna step away from it for now. Okay, there's SE. Um, I really want to watch this one just because the catalyst they have on hand. Maybe able to pull off a nice move on this. So once again, I'm eyeing that 275 call for SE. Okay, I am jumping in that SE call. Great, so it is at 2.30. All right, there's 2.4. All right, so there's triggered our alert there. There's 2.46. 2.47. Feel free to scale out of some along the way just to minimize your position. So we're going to keep a stop loss at break even on this. So there we have, now we have some fluctuation on SE. We're right below break even. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, we're currently at 2.2, so make sure you scale out along the way. The rest, we're going to keep a stop loss down to $2. But so far, I think this is still a great alert to hold. I don't intend on this hitting the stop loss. Oh wow, LLY blasted. But all right, and that's our stop. I wouldn't buy in as yet. Okay, so that's our stop hit on SE. Okay, so there was a bit of a delay on that play. I realized that one. Let's see. We'll make up for that with another play. Yeah, most people got in at 2.3. I mean, I said that I was eyeing the alert from some time back, so that was that's there. LLY is still going. Microsoft, let's take a look. Yeah, so LLY is still going. We were looking at that 230 call earlier. If this gets enough volume, I mean, for whoever's in it, you might even be able to roll out to like the 240 call or something just as a lotto. Gotcha. So contracts on average right now, I'm trading in the challenge account, which is around 30K. So essentially, that's like 3K per play if we're going in with 10%. So I just scale upwards in that sense. Or if it's a light play, I go in with about 5%. So that's going to be you scale up to that. Jordan, no, I don't. Sorry about that. Let's see. Still looking to see what LLY does here. What do I think about CLNE? I think that one's biting the dust right now. You'd ideally want to bounce from here. Okay, so we got a decent watch list here with stocks. We have ZS, LLY, CSIQ, and MU. So we can pretty much add these for plays, see which one we can get a play off of. A lot of these put out a couple of green bars here, so let's see. How often do I go live? I try to go live typically every Friday or so. Alright, let's see. So we have SPY breaking upwards. SPY's at 424.5. Amazon launches. Okay. I'm surprised Amazon is moving on news. Typically it doesn't, but let's see. If I took Amazon, let's see which call. I'd probably take uh, the 30. I'd probably take the 3400 call, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, these companies always have some sort of fine or something, but let's see. Yeah, the Amazon. If I took Amazon, it would be the 3400 call. Of course I'm not in as yet, but so I'll let you know when I get in. We're gonna have to be a little bit careful with this one, because it's more of a out the money call. So if we do take this call, it's gonna be a little bit more riskier. The premiums are gonna move a bit quicker, but with that said, it can pay. There's LLY still moving, Zscaler as well. Okay, I am going to jump in Amazon at 2.35. That's what we're at right now. Let's see if we can get a play. So I'm not completely worried here. In the worst case scenario, obviously it moved up and then now it's stabilizing around 2.35. Um, I'm not worried here. In the worst case scenario, we will cut at 2 point, I'd say 2.15-ish, but in the worst case, we can also average down on this. So there's the out the money risk. Currently at 1.8. Passed her stop a bit, but once again, uh, I'm going to. So you can either stop out here or you can average down. I'm going to wait a moment and I'm going to hit the average on this. I still have some confidence in Amazon. I think it was mostly just because of SPY here. So I'm looking to average down very lightly momentarily here. So I'm going to buy. So I'm averaging down at 1.8. There we go. So now our overall average on this is, let me check. Technically it's 2.1. So let's see. So we are back to break even on this call from the average down. We're now at 2.1. Yeah, exactly. So, yep, don't risk what you're not willing to lose. So you can see we're back in the bright green. I did notify before I took this call that uh, this can this can go negative before going green, or this one's a little bit risky because it's further out the money. But with not freaking out and stuff, uh, it's literally just managing risk. Even if you didn't get in, or if you didn't stop out or get to average down, it's about to go green here. So we're currently at 2.2. Yeah, bought the bottom there at 1.75. And I'm gonna sell Amazon as soon as I feel comfortable. So my stop on it right now is at break even at 2.1. Currently at 2.12, 2.14. Let's see. So there's 2.18 right there. I'm gonna look to get out some soon here, just to minimize risk. Alright, so I'm selling mine at 2.1 here, just to be safe. Essentially, as break even, you could average down from anywhere. GameStop, I probably wouldn't go in on GameStop puts. What do you typically look for entering a specific strike? I'm looking for volume. So once again, Amazon, that was a 3,400 call. It was a little bit risky because it's further out the money, but it did have a lot of volume on it. We did have to average down to run back up this play. A lot of people bought back in the bottom at 1.75. When you're playing with further out the money calls, anything that's a little bit risky, how I recommend playing it is like, okay, let's say you could have put in 10 calls on Amazon to begin with. I would go in with 5 and leave the rest for leeway so you can always average down in the worst case scenario. With that said, I think we can pull off a nice play here on Tesla. I'm looking at it right now. LLY is still getting some upwards movement. mRNA, see somebody wrote there. mRNA actually looks pretty good. Square. Wish does look like it's slightly coming back to life. Let's see. Now it doesn't look half bad, or Google. Google looks like it might come back around. Let's look for something that can move pretty well. There's Tesla getting some volume towards the upside. Yeah, risk less money. That's number one. If you're risking too much, then your emotions will get to you. See, saying that there. Dash doesn't look half bad, actually. Whoever just said that one. Oh, what did I have up before Dash? Roku. So between Dash and Roku, these two don't look half bad. Let's see. So if I'm looking at Dash strikes, um, So the ideal play on Dash would be the 140 call. Let's see. Now, once again, this one does have a slightly large spread, so um, I wouldn't necessarily enter that right now. I'd wait until this has some directional movement before I enter it. The 150 call would be okay on Dash, but I'm not too sure if it's too far out of the money. We may be better off going in with like the 140 call or so, but the 150 call isn't half bad either. Yeah, you see, that's exactly what I meant. If you look at the 150 call now, the premiums were okay. The premiums were at 0.48 and the ask was 0.5, but now the bid is at 0.37, and that's what is a little bit worrisome. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. So another thing I want to say is don't let Tesla fool you. Tesla is also another one that the premiums move extremely fast on. So let's see. Tesla, there's a couple calls that are drawing my attention to it right now. The 620 call, the 650 call. Okay, I'm buying in the Tesla 650 call for 611 at 0.75. Now, this one's going to be a little bit risky, but although it's further out the money, I know I didn't put out an eyeing alert for this one, uh, we can still get a nice movement on this. So once again, take this as a light play, but I still think Tesla is a nice one that we can get some movement on. There we go. We're getting some upwards movement here. It's bouncing around in this area. There we go. There's the movement on Tesla. So the stop loss is going to be at 0.7 in the worst case scenario. We're currently green on this. So let's see what happens. So there's 0.7. Tesla's seeing some slight downside here. Let's see. Why play calls when the market is in downside? So that's the thing. Although the market might seem to be in a downside, a lot of stocks will move against the market. 1.59. What play did you take? $6.50 at 1.59? The 650 call on Tesla should not have been 1.59. Wait, so you got in at 0.59, or what was your entry price? Okay. No, it was a call. It wasn't a put. Yeah, managing risk is going to be key. Regardless, Tesla was a little bit rough. Uh, let's see. And Amazon if you didn't average down. Now, with that said, I think we can still fit in some better plays here. Not giving up just yet. What'd somebody say? Uh, yeah, I'm still in Tesla at the moment. You could buy into Tesla on the bounce if you'd like, but I'd probably just wait for the next play. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know Amazon and Tesla were a little bit rough. XOM was a good play. Amazon and Tesla, we got caught a bit in SPY's downtrend. So, like I said, trying to SE. Yeah. Try to find one really good play here to make up for that, but we're not going to force any plays, so we'll see how this works. No, I'm still in Tesla. I wouldn't. Actually, Google is getting a ton of volume above 2,500. This is going to be an interesting one to watch. Yeah, Amazon is one of those that'll do a type pattern like that. You can take profit on some SPWR now and leave the rest to run. Alright, so I'm going to stop out Tesla and we're going to go on to the next play. Oh, I saw your question there. Why do I always trade Goog instead of Google or Googl? Um, that's a good question. I mean, I'm just more familiar with Goog and it's the different classes of it. So sometimes like they'll move differently. It's very weird, but sometimes it does happen where they move differently. Alright, there's no delay now. Alright, with that said, let's get in another play. Um, I'm looking at LLY. That's if we can get in this one. Not 100% sure. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna jump in LLY. So I'm jumping in this 240 call. Uh, the I'm jumping in at 0.65. Once again, this is a completely light play. I do have some high conviction on this play though. At 0. So there we go. There's 0.8. Alright, we are currently bright green on this play. Feel free to scale out like whenever you want. If you didn't get in, okay, didn't get in. Okay, so if you didn't get in, don't worry. So good, plus 600. Yeah, made up for the entire day. So LLY was a fast play. It dropped before I announced. So LLY may pose another entry here shortly into that 240 call. Stay tuned, I'd have it up. I will alert if I get in. So we're currently at 0.7 here, so we're back up. Alright, so let's see. There's 0.7. Alright, so it's currently at 0.68. Like I said before, we could pull off another entry on this. So we're currently at 0.66. Let's see, can we get another entry somewhere? 68, 0.7. Alright, I'm going to pull off another entry here at 0.7 on LLY. There we go, 234. So we're still in the green at 0.72. Amazon went back in the green. Oh my god. Look at that. I gotta break even on Amazon with the average down. LLY is still hovering around that 0.7 range here. My computer is getting ready for takeoff. Those box arrows on your chart? Oh, the T and B, those are mean for like top and bottom. I'm still holding LLY. Yeah, I think it's just a retest. I have a I have conviction on this one. Yeah, I'll be completely honest here that today has not been the easiest day. Today has been a rough day. You got beat with like Amazon, SC, Tesla, kind of around the clock. There's the bounce on it. So we're currently at 0.55. Um, could even average down. There's 0.6, so we're coming back up. 0.63. Yeah, um, yeah, like I said before, today was just not an easy day in general with when it comes to Tesla, SE, Amazon. The main thing when it comes to those calls is managing risk. Like I said before, I even entered like Amazon or Tesla. I knew that those were a bit risky because they're further out the money. So I went a little bit light on those. Nevertheless, we're still in LLY right now. I have high conviction on this one, so I'm still holding this. LLY is a momentum stock currently. So the reason I wouldn't ride puts on a day like this is, I mean, look at Amazon, look at Google. You see how it's just like, um, how it's just sideways or it's just essentially moving down. That's what you don't want to get caught in with, or not moving down, like Amazon moving a little bit down and then moving up. You don't want to get caught into puts. Just because the market's moving down doesn't mean that stocks will move down with it. So it can be a very dangerous thing to play puts on a day like this. You're good. You don't have to apologize there. 4LLY. You can keep a stop on this one if you want. So far, I still think that we can see a bit of a bounce here. It's really just SPY. SPY overextended this morning. 5 minute ticker on scalps. Yeah, the 1 minute has has too much noise. You have too many red candles to distract you. AEMD. So you put a put on LLY. No, that's not a put, that's a call. Swear that's how these plays work. Can we average on LLY? Yeah, I'd wait like a quick second here. Um, as soon as SPY bounces from this support, we could average down on LLY. Average down. So it all depends. Like doubling the position. It depends on how much you're looking to bring your average down and how much your risk is. So like if you already put in 5% of your account to begin with, and that's your maximum risk, then averaging down, I probably wouldn't put more than like 2% in on that position just because it's a little bit more risky. You never want to go like, especially on these plays that are a little bit risky or out the money, you want to go at least half the amount and then you can always add more. Just watching SPY here at the moment. Yeah, we'll be back green. If it's not today, it'll be tomorrow or so. Um, these days are odd to happen. It sucks that we went live and this is what happened. We had about 3 or 4 plays kind of fail, but um, yeah, it's all manage. Yeah, it's all about managing risk, kind of lowering your risk on days like these. So I knew those plays were risky to begin with when I was going in with light plays, but still, um, it's just one of those days where it's a bit rough. Yeah, I'm still in LLY at the moment here. I'm just waiting for this bounce. If this play does fail, I mean, I'll just worst case scenario, We'll stop trading today, come back tomorrow, come back next week. Uh, like I said, these days are odd to happen, but the main thing is you bounce back from these. So far with LLY, I think we can still get a bounce here. It's just trending with SPY. How do you decide when the play is over? Um, hmm, that's a good question there. Uh, how do you decide when it's over? I would say when it's not moving, like if it's not moving on its own volume. So right now, LLY is still moving on its own volume. You can see that because SPY is putting out a red candle when LLY is putting out green. So there may be a slight reversal here. I may choose to average down. Let's see. So if I did average down, that would bring our average back to like 0.58-ish. So you can see exactly right here. Even if I do kind of move off of the plate, so yeah, I'm going to choose to average down here. So my new average is 0.58 on this play. Yeah, for LLY, once again, that's putting in a little bit more equity, so it's a little bit risky, but we're going to keep a stop. So we're at 0.5354. Remember, my average down was technically for 0.58. So there's 0.58. We're back to break even. 0.59, 0.6. And that's how averaging down works. You essentially want to average down in a place that you're confident it's going to move back up, and then you aim for break even to get out. So for anyone that averaged down, you could essentially get out here if you'd like. So there's our upside movement there. Alright, so I'm exiting this call. Didn't get out quite break even, but no, we didn't buy into LLY. I averaged down and then we stopped out. So yeah, I think overall today I'm gonna take it easy. Well, I'm still gonna stay on live at the moment, and let's see what other. Let's analyze the market, see what's going on. We may be able to knock out our play, we may not. But these days, a day like today, we had about. Let's see, if we just measure it back, we had Amazon, we had Tesla. Amazon, we got out break even. That was a little bit of a rough one to get out. We had Tesla. The first LLY paid if you got in on that 230 call. We couldn't alert that one fast enough. XOM was a good play. SE kind of got a little bit stopped out. Tesla and LLY, we just got out almost break even. Do I see an upside to LLY? Yeah, there could be an upside from here, but with the market tanking right now, there's no say. Yeah, I can go over the chart setup. Just a second here. Yeah, the market's all sort of crazy here today. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bull trap kind of day. That's exactly the day. But on these days too, I've had some comebacks. So who knows? We can always have a comeback closer to the end of the day. If I'm more certain on a move, that's when I'll take it. But other than that, I'm not gonna force any plays. Right now, puts does look like the way to go. Um, with that said, SPY is supposed to see some type of downside eventually. We had some steady days, we had some green days. CLNE and Clove, those, let's see. Clove is seeing some downside here. CLNE as well. Uh, yeah, it's just one of those days where the market's kind of giving a bull trap out. So we're looking at the market here. We could see a bounce on this candle. We see a break below. That may be an indication that uh, we may be going a little bit lower here. And there's the bounce on SPY, of course. Am I going live tomorrow? I'm not sure as yet. I will definitely keep you updated though if I do. So my charting setup is essentially what you see here. It's Cobra Algo. We have the 8, 21, 50, and 200 exponential moving averages. We have VWAP. I actually think we may be able to pull off a play here. I'm looking at Google 2490 puts for 611. Yeah, I'm still in Nokia. So ideally, we're just looking for SPY to break support here. If we break support, we can get a nice play to the downside. Now, once again, that doesn't mean that LLY will move to the downside as well. Um, it just really means that for Google. So right now, that premium is at 3.7. I'm just trying to get in under about 4 on Google, I'd say. So I really want to see SPY break this support clean. I don't want a bounce. So under 422.2 on SPY, that's what we're looking at. There's Google jumping around a bit. Alright, I'm jumping in Google at $4. Caught that one on the way down. And there's our tank. Currently at 440, 430. So we're aiming about 4.5. I think we can possibly see 5 on this. Yep, there's 4.5. Can we get to 5? There's 4.9. 5. 4.7, 4.6. Even if you didn't get in on Google, like if you didn't get out, there's still gonna be a next, yeah. Oh no, I didn't mean the percent. I meant the limit. It hit 4.9 on that call. No, I wouldn't enter Google now. Alright, so Google was a good play. Let's get one more like that, and we should be pretty good. Would you enter BlackBerry when it is low? Hmm. LLY. So I'd watch right here. I would see if we can get a break of like 232-ish, and then I would place my stop somewhere here. So 232. So Google, when we bought in, it went to 4.9. Regardless, this play it's still moving down right now, so we should be able to get in our like another exit on it. Yeah, Google yeah, Google ran for $90 a contract. No, it was a put. Yeah, I only have one contract left on Google, but essentially the play is over on that. Yeah, LLY might go for round two. It's coming back. The whole thing really is here with Spy. You want to make sure you're watching Spy at the moment. Let's see. Wow. I don't know why Datadog got so much volume on it. TGT. Target doesn't look half bad. Um, LLY does look pretty good here. Ideally, it should get a push above. I think today is, I don't think it's a full-on red day. I just think it's more of one of those like premium burner days. So, thank you. Airbnb is bouncing here. Uber swing, we still have some time on that, so I'd wait on that one. Not technically for SPY, wouldn't be inverse head and shoulders just yet. Yeah, so to purchase the NYSE and NASDAQ data, when you go to check out for your plan, it should ask you, would you like to add on any data? Or you're going to want to go at the top to account and then billing. It should be $4 a month for it. So, I mean, okay, you're asking like a few, so plays throughout any time of the day will be risky. The reason why I trade mostly in the morning, if you look at any stock really, when's the majority of the move? The majority of the move is, you know, at the beginning of the day. If you go chasing at, later on in the day or something, then that's when it can really burn you because, uh, you're waiting like a whole half an hour for, maybe a 50-cent move or something. So throughout the day, like any time is really risky. Short opening might be slightly more, but you can get some better moves on it. How did I get this? Essentially, I got this trading view. You have to have the pro plan. You can get 6 charts, or you can tile your pages. Persian Ninja. Um, that was your that was due to GameStop though. Yeah, there's always another day. If it's not today, then there's tomorrow. Yeah, risk management is all. We've had really good days. We've had some down days. It's all about managing your risk and getting back up. So like that Google play was one step to recovering. Typically, my stop loss is from 10 to 15%. Sometimes it does um, go past that. You saw that with like LLY or so. And then if it ever, so the thing is, you want to keep a 10 to 15% stop loss. If it ever does run past your stop loss, then you don't want to panic and just like sell right away. So you saw I got out LLY with essentially like barely any loss. Um, and the whole reason behind that was choosing when to average down, and then move it back up. Uh, wow, CCX just got some movement there. But video on risk management. I can definitely do that. I can even talk about it right now. Essentially, when it comes to risk management, it's like I said before. Putting in uh, like a certain amount of your report. Google, it's moving down right now, so I'd probably hold that one a little bit if you're still stuck in. Yeah, so that is a very great question there. I definitely understand that one. Um, using a mental stop loss. Uh, Typically, what I do is like, let's say you get in at $3. So let's just say that contract is $3. Obviously, a 10% stop loss is going to be 2.7. So you want to look at when the bid is 2.7. And essentially, when the bid is 2.7, you maybe have like just a little bit leeway to get out of there. Um, I always account for like 10 to 12% stop loss or so. Yeah, so I would keep your own stop losses as well. So like obviously I can put out when the trade is like 10%, 15%, but if you're waiting on the alert to stop out, or it might fly past your stop as well. So just make sure you're keeping your own stops. In terms of, let's see, like let's just take a look at the plays today. We can kind of go over this. So XOM, like let's just put this into perspective. So XOM, the 63 call was 0.94. So let's put this on the account. So let's say the account started at 29K today. So we're just going to put this in perspective. The XOM, this was 0.94. So obviously, according to guidelines, or the guidelines I put out, regular trades are 10%, light is 5%, Anything risky is 2 to 3% of your account. And so XOM was 0.94. We essentially got out around like, let's say 1.0. So we got out 1.1, 1, and so on. I'd say our average on that is 1.02. So if we put this into perspective, we're looking at about 2,900 into that call. So that's going to be about, let's say I got 32 contracts, right? So this call alone here was about 320 profit. Okay, so that was the first call, XOM. And then we had SE. So this one was 2.3. It went green where we scaled out some, and then we scaled out of the rest in the negative. So yeah, if we consider this here, SE went to 2.45, and then the stop was at 2. So we got out some at 2.45, got out some at 2. This one would be, let's see, 8. So this one was about a 100 loss-ish. Then we go on to Amazon. I mean, as you know, Amazon, I got out break even. Tesla was the one. So we're just going through the plays here. Tesla, this was 0.75 to 0.6. So I lured this as a light play. So that means I got in with about 15 contracts. Actually, no, Tesla was 0.75, the premium. So put this in perspective here. Just going through my plays and contracts. This one we stopped out at 0.6, so this would have been 150 loss. All right. Next up, we have LLY. So the first set of contracts I got in at 0.7, well 0.65, and I got out most at 0.8. I got out the first set at 0.85. This wasn't a light play, so putting this in perspective here, 2,900. So let's say 45 contracts. This would have been 890 gain essentially, and then the second LLY was 0.75, 0.7, then we averaged down to 0.58, and we cut at 0.54. So that's going to be, we went in heavy here again, so let's say 50 contracts. This would have gave a, what, 50 times 0.04, $200 loss here. And then lastly, we had Google. That was the 2490 put, and this was from 4 to 4.9. This once again was another play we had. Let's say, what was that? 7 contracts. So this banked about 630. So if you add these up, you get about 320 plus 890 plus 630, and then you subtract the losses, so minus 200, minus 250, and then you kind of average it out with some other ones, and it's about 1390 gain. But once again, risk management is key. If you don't manage your risk correctly in the market, you're going to end up losing big on red calls. Like I said, the thing isn't about, uh, it's not mainly about like landing green on every play. It's just not going to happen. But the main thing is that you manage your risk, and on the calls that go red, you're able to manage it and get out safely. So you saw that we did that with Amazon. SE was another one we managed risk on. Tesla was a rough one. LLY, the first call went green. The second one we averaged down and got back out. So once again, it's rough if you don't manage your risk, and you can see exactly how this plays out. Once again, I'm showing you here that like you want to scale according to how risky the situation is. So before you enter any call, just ask yourself, how risky is this? Is this call out the money? Is it far out the money? Is it a cheaper call? Like how um you really want to make sure you're analyzing your play before you get into it. And this is how you're able to essentially gauge your profits and your losses and kind of um, pull it together so you're not coming out red or deep red on the day. Would you recommend a stop or stop limit? So a stop limit can be slightly risky as essentially let's see. Yeah, a stop limit, it could be slightly risky if it doesn't fill. So you don't want to put your limit orders too close together on a stop limit. For a stop market, those are even riskier because those can fill you at anything. Yeah, LLY calls, they weren't too far out the money. They're actually the 240 calls, but it was more of like Tesla. That one was a little bit out of the money. But you can see how analyzing risk here, uh, that's really the main thing on the day, analyzing risk. Why is the stock up but options aren't moving? It might take a minute for that to kick in. Gotcha. Here, let's pull it up and we can even take a look at it closely. Yeah, so this is going to start moving in a minute. It's just going to take remember, when it comes to fluctuations in the market, essentially, like, if a stock, so let's say 233 LLY was at, and that premium was 0.5. Then when it dips and comes back to 233, it might be at like 0.45. So it's going to take a little bit more to move back up, but essentially, once it breaks over here, you should get some upwards movement. That's why I said from the beginning, like LLY, I still had faith in it, but um, above this line, this is the resistance right here. And I mean, overall, this is exactly what I said. You can see this is a green day. Um, the profit on the day is essentially 1390, but uh, with some other scale outs and managing risks, this is like an $1,800 day. And although the plays were hard, I won't like I'm not covering that. I'm saying that the plays were rough today. SE was a hard one. XOM was straight profit. SE was getting out some at the top, getting out some at the bottom. Amazon was getting out break even. Some held and got out green later. Um, Tesla was a little far out the money. We analyzed that risk before we went in and came out on we came out like a little bit red on that one. Then we had LLY. The first one was a gain. The second LLY contract was 200 lost. We averaged down and then got out again. And then Google was up. So that would have essentially been an $1,800 a day right there on that account. So that's just putting it into perspective. Once again, managing risk is it all. So I just want to put that out there. I typically try to put out eyeing this play to kind of give a head start before I get into the play. Um, like when I put out eyeing this play, there's a couple of options. Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's exactly it. Um, Yeah, you're likely to get a slight fill above. Um, yeah, I'd still look at the chart. Look at the chart, and typically when I say eyeing this play, I might send out a chart too. I'm probably gonna try putting that out, but uh, I'm mostly a support resistance trader or a charting patterns trader, so you can pull up the the chart yourself. Like you can pull up, like if I say eyeing LLY 240 calls at this moment, then you really know like I'm looking for a break resistance here. So when it breaks that resistance, you can kind of like get in as well, and like all that combined will help you on getting faster fills. Like from the time that I alert to the time that I type it and send it out, I would say there's about 1 minute to, not 1 minute, sorry, once like 2 second delay right there. And there's about a 5% tolerance. So how many contracts am I? So that's what I try to do. I put out like if I'm going in a play, I say light. So yeah, I like for example, when I went into Tesla, like if I say light, this is what I do. So I'm going to type the call and I put light at the end. So light automatically indicates like 5% of your account. If I put risky, that's 2 to 3%. Um, and then regular is 10%. So yeah, I see what you're saying there. So yeah, if you're red and I'm bright green. So that's a question right there. Now, like I said, sizing is everything today. Like especially when the market gets choppy. Uh, if you're sizing incorrectly into like plays. That can hurt you a lot. Yeah, so in terms of sizing, I do say sizing like I just want to kind of reiterate that. So regular like a regular play, I don't say anything. I don't say like if I'll just put out the buy to opens like buy to open Google 24.90 put 611 at 4 point or like at 4. That means this is a regular play. Now, if I put this is what I typically do, light, that means I'm going in with 5% or less of my account. It's just the easiest way to type it because um, it's going to be hard. Like if I say like 10 contracts, obviously that's going to be hard for you because you don't know um, yeah, you don't really know if it's going to be like if my port is 30K, you don't know what my port's at. Like that's more calculation for you. If I just say light or regular play or risky, that's going to be way easier on your behalf. And seriously, like managing risk was it all today. We had some plays that kind of run past or stop, but uh, the main thing to do whenever a play runs past your stop, so if you have a 10, 15% stop, and it kind of goes down from there, then don't panic. Don't panic and like, freak out that's moving down. Uh, just find the best way to exit that play. Whether it's averaging down slightly, as long as you manage risk in the market, then you're going to be good even if the plays are choppy or even if the plays are, slightly red because you're going to have days like these. Like once again, I'm telling you right here, the plays were not straightforward today. Especially when it came to like Tesla, uh, and so on. Those were a bit rough on the edges. Look at LOY. Yeah, it's coming back up there. Ideally, if I was taking this play, like that's exactly what I would have done. Right here, like I said at the bottom, right here, I would have said I'm eyeing this play. As soon as I saw like this moving up to resistance, I would have essentially took it like on the break. So, and now LLY could essentially put out another green candle up to about 234, 235-ish. But it's going to take a little bit, but the premium should come back around as long as it keeps moving. How do you plot support and resistance? So if you use this indicator, it's called Cobra Algo. It automatically plots it for you. So I can send out details on that if you'd like as well. But that's what helps, especially when you're trying to trade on the fly. Alright, let's see if we can get in one more play. That's a good point you brought up there. When you send the watching alert, sending the sizing, I'll think about that. I'll see if that's possible for me. That might be. So I'll definitely consider that. That was a great recommendation there. Entering the play, if it reaches a certain price point, oh, gotcha. So like if I'm trying to enter in like below $2 or the stock, um, I see what that means. Let's see. Um, okay, I'll work on that. I think can probably do. Yeah, I get what you're saying. If we break above that point, we enter. Um, that might be a good idea there. So I'll definitely think about that. It's Cobra Algo. Here, I'll send out details in the channel right now for anyone that's asking. Okay, I just sent it there for anyone that's asking. Yeah, Nvidia. Let's take a look at that. So I'm gonna try my best when I send out eyeing this play, even if I don't say like, looking for a break of this or that. I'm gonna try to work on putting out like light or what I'm trying to go in with, and I'll also send out the chart. I'll try to do that, like send out the chart with the play, so you can see where the resistance and support is plotted. Um, so I use most of it out of the box, except for the long short signals. I do 170 over 70. Just because I'm not using them as much. Let's take a look at CRM. Yeah, CRM is having some heavy upside. Yeah, if I send out the chart, I'll probably most likely send it out with the I'll send it out with the eyeing alert. I wouldn't send it with the entry because the entry I want it to be as quick as possible. Relative volume indicator is this one at the bottom. It's completely free. I'll send out my complete list of indicators later to make that easier. AMD does have some nice upside here. How many contracts? Okay, for swings, you really want to go in with 5% or less of your account. LLY, let's take a look. It could be a double top or it could form a cup and handle. So this one could definitely bounce from here and kind of do like a cup and handle pattern. Yeah, Amazon's back up to 33, 32. Let's see. Overall, a lot is pretty flat here. Anything cool happening lately? Just work, really. So once again, one thing to just reiterate is the risk management. Um, like I said here, if you just look at this layout here, um, this is how you want to manage risk on plays. You know, XOM was 320 profit. SE kind of, you're taking those profits once it goes above, stopping out. Um, all those, Amazon getting out break even, Tesla, analyzing the risk before you enter a call. That is the main thing right there. If the premiums are moving much when the stock is moving up, I'd say it all depends. If the premium is like pumping very much as the stock is moving up, then you kind of want to wait it out because what's going to end up happening is if you get in, it might drop significantly. Like especially on a Friday expiration, that's what's going to happen a lot. It's going to drop back down. So Friday expirations, you want to be very careful with. So you want to make sure that like if it's moving up steadily, you're not chasing after it. Um, how do you pick the strike price? Yep, I look for the one with the most volume, not open interest. So open interest is the amount of contracts that are being swung from the day before, so the amount of contracts that are open from previous day. Uh, that's not really indicative of what's going to happen today. So the volume is usually more. Where do you check volume? That's a great question. So if you're using Robinhood and you just open up the call, like you'll see volume here and open interest. So this is exactly why I had taken that 240 call to begin with, was because it had the most volume on it. Do I worry with, do I bother about the Greeks? Not really. If you're day trading, it doesn't matter too much. Um, if you're like swinging, then that's when you want to look at like theta and all that. But other than that, um, it's not that. And on Webull, you can have it set so that you can have up like your volume as well, volume and open interest. Yeah, for sure. Like on Webull, when you go to buy the contract, it'll show you. No, I don't use Thinkorswim. How do you buy? How do you limit buy when? So that's another thing. That's a great question there. Um, limit. So buying a call, um, when the premium is moving fast. Uh, you essentially want to buy between the mid and the ask, or you want to buy at the ask price. If you try to go for the mid price, it just won't fill. So when the premium is moving fast, go for like the ask price or so. It's going to benefit you more because what's going to end up happening is you're going to try filling at the mid and then you're going to keep recycling. Yeah, we're looking to print tomorrow. What do you think tomorrow will be like? I think tomorrow it's gonna be pretty interesting. We have some earnings after hours today, Chewy and so on. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, the market is pretty narrow. Yeah, you definitely want to move from Robinhood to Webull. Robinhood is really bad at filling orders. The long short is definitely the most accurate I've ever seen. Now, in terms of me using it, I don't really use it. Webull or Thinkorswim? Yeah, I use Webull. The god of printers. That's the funniest I've heard. But yeah, let's make it back tomorrow. Yeah, let's eat steak and lobster. Otherwise, it's McDonald's dollar menu. I'm kidding. Tastyworks is good as well. Personally, I stick to Webull because it doesn't have any commissions. TD Ameritrade commissions really hurt me before, so that's why I kind of move away. I'm not a fan of TD Ameritrade. Webull, the reason I use it is because I can fill really fast on it. I can use the mobile app. So one question I'm going to answer right there for anybody is Somebody just asked, how do you find stocks? So if you go to Webull, you go to the market screen, you could just download this. You don't need to um, like have an account. So pre-market, maximize, and then percent change. And once you scroll down through here, you can see stocks that are moving in pre-market. So you want to do this around like 9 a.m. ish, and you'd be able to see like what stocks are moving. And like you can see now is moving. You can keep that on your watch list. Yeah, Webull zero commissions. If they do charge a commission, it's like 0.04 for like the SEC fee or something. Um, Yeah, so this is exactly how. Okay, oh, to change your tickers, so what you're gonna need to do is you go up to this part with the blocks, and you want to make sure all these are unchecked. Otherwise, if the symbol is checked, it's gonna sync all your charts together. No, so that's a common misconception. They say like, Webull fills are slower than TD, but like in my opinion, so yes, TD like maybe on their end they like give you a faster fill or something, but the interface, in my opinion, doesn't allow you to have that faster fill. Like to actually like place the order, it gives a lot more work. So um, in terms of Webull, like it's very much easier. Yeah, a cash account would definitely be a great idea. Even the challenge account I'm running, when I started that with 5K, it's in a cash account and it's still in a cash account. 0.11 to sell. Yeah, Webull, I'd say there's about like maybe a point 0.1 commission. Maybe zero point 0, but overall there's not really any commission. Yeah, it's like a very, very small commission, and it's more of the SEC fee. For reference to download, I can send the only one that they're gonna have is the what's it called? So Thinkorswim is 65 cents per contract one way. So on a whole trade, you pay $1.30 per contract. That's what really messes you up. Um, Webull Desktop, there isn't a referral. There's a referral for Webull in general. I can send that out in the channel. And I'm going to send out more details on a Webull cash account for anyone that's interested and why it's important. And okay, so obviously the challenge account is at like 31K. Now, one thing you want to consider is that regardless of an account being above 25K, the greatest part about a cash account is that it limits the amount of trades you can take. So you're trying to, if you have 50K in account, um, or 10K or something, you want to make the best of those trades. It limits you from essentially kind of like going all in and all that. Any trades for today? Um, right now I'm looking at it, but the market's way too choppy, so I think I'm gonna call it a day here. Let's see. Yeah, overall, I'm not seeing anything that's completely worth taking. SE might give an entry, so that's the only one I might enter here. So I'm going to keep this one on watch, but other than that, we're looking for a break of about like 271, 272. Yeah, you need to switch like yeah, as soon as possible. Yeah, I just wait for the what's it called? I just wait for Webull to come around with the transfer. So if you do ACH transfer on Webull, it's like um, I think it's 5 days. And if you do, I mean, even with Thinkorswim, it's 4 days. And then if you do, uh, what's it called? What's the other one? Uh, Wire, I think it's 2 to 3 days. So Workhorse, you said you're up 160% on the call. Which one are you talking about? Like the October call or something? I do trade stocks. So I do trade stocks as well, but I more of invest in stocks. I don't really necessarily trade them. So there's a bit of a difference between those terms there. Ramen for today, steak for tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, it makes a big difference. I know tons of people that racked up heavy commissions on TD Ameritrade, and that hurts your account more than anything else, especially when you're buying large amounts of contracts. That was one of the major reasons why I changed from them too. Cardboard. Oh man. Keep your eyes on AMD. You don't get Webull. So if you're in a country, that's a great question. If you're in a country where you essentially have to pay commissions, then like if it's like $10 per trade or something, you want to go in on trades that are like $1.50 or $2 to um like to make up for that commission. 100 a day on TD fees? Yeah, I just wouldn't do that. I use the mobile Webull app. So let's see. See if we can knock out another play here. Yeah, so if you look on my YouTube videos, I made a video on how I enter. Tiger Trade. I'm not sure what that is. PayPal? Let's take a look at PayPal. Yeah, so there is a free version of TradingView, but the version I'm using is the paid version. See, these stocks do look pretty nice, like they're about to break out, but this is the hardest part. I can't share the TradingView layout, like it won't actually let me, but I can share my indicators that I use. Do you trade on TradingView on the? Yeah, so I pull up TradingView on my desktop tab of the charts, and I pull up Webull on my phone. Oh man, you sound like Wolf of Wall Street. So looking to see if we can fit in one more play. So SE is really the play that I'm looking at. Um, just really need a break above to do something. Market pullback in the next month. Yeah, I feel like the market should pull back slightly very soon. LLY, um, if it does bounce, the bounce should happen somewhere around in this range. For day trades, I'm alone. For swings and small count, I have another guy that typically helps with eyeing those reversals, and I help manage exits on those as well. Alright, let's try to get another play. Okay, so there's SE coming around. Alright, let's see. Looking for a good call here. No, LOY we exited. Bumble. MBIS doesn't quite look like a head and shoulders on the day. It's more of a could do anything from here. It's not really definitive, but it could break to the downside more of. Nokia, we have a long expiration on that. We should be okay. Oh, I think I just found one. Yep. Beautiful inverse head and shoulders here. 14%. Sizing. That's the number one thing right there. Sizing. How much of your port did you go in on with each play? Sizing is the number one reason for that. Wow. Yeah, I'm looking for another play right now, actually. Still holding Uber for now. How do you find direction? You'd wait for a break above. Um, let's see. Uber there. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's the small gains together that will boost your account. Uh, 1 second. Looking at Facebook here. FB. All right, I'm looking at the Facebook 332.5 call for this week. SPY's not at a major resistance though, so it should be okay. So there we have a slight bounce on Facebook. So Facebook does seem to be moving on its own volume. I do like this movement. Currently at 1.1. I'm going to jump in. And there we have liftoff on Facebook. Let's go. 1.27. Yep, we're currently at 1.2. Alright, so you can scale out like 2/3 here at 1.27-ish. And the rest we're gonna get out soon. But main thing, green play. Yeah, it was really, so the whole thing with Facebook was just yeah, it was just eyeing it for when it was moving against SPY. And once again, like I said, it's the main thing is getting the entries, and then you can gauge your exits as well. So that was a beautiful play right there. And the rest, obviously, we have 1/3 calls remaining. We do one of two things. We keep a stop loss at break even, or take profit. So the stop loss on the rest is at break even. Take profit as you go along. So that's a great question. Even though the volume was below average, the key is that it was moving against SPY. Think about it this way. If a stock is moving against SPY when the candle is red on SPY, then when the next candle, if it bounces and goes green on SPY, then that stock might push up as well. So it's kind of like that. There's ABBV trying to break out of that inverse head and shoulders. SPY is currently at 1.26, 1.29. We should have 1.3 coming up soon on Facebook. So we're bouncing around a little bit. But overall, we're looking at SPY here, so we want to see if SPY breaks above. That's the key. ABBV might give another play too, so we can watch that one. But I could zoom this in, and we can take a look at this and Facebook. So right now we're about 1.2. So like, okay, Brian, I think you said your stop was at 1.13. You can kind of do like 1.15 is like where you'd want to stop out, so you kind of have um, a good, like a way to kind of get out. You have enough time. Wow, there's SPY dropping, so we're gonna stop out of Facebook just to secure. So all out, we're currently at 1.15. So this is gonna help with that. Yeah, I use my phone to trade with. And there's Facebook movement. Wow, SPY just had a huge green there, but there's Facebook moving back up. What was the profit percentage on that trade? We can even calculate that out. Um, 16%. Appreciate it. Wow, Netflix is getting some volume here. Hey, 20%. Good job. Yep, ABBV looks ready to break out. Yeah, I mean from down 16% to down 6%, that's definitely a good headway, so you'll be all right. Big play. All right, I think I'm gonna have to head off and then come back, but let's see. Actually, ABBV looks like a prime play. Pulling up the ABBV option chain. Okay, I'm looking at ABBV. the 117 call for 611. I think we may be able to get another push off of this. Currently at 0.26, 27, 28. There's 0.29, 0.3. I'm jumping in ABBV at, let's see, 0.27 here. Just go up. Okay, stock. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's at 0.26 right now. 25. So our stop loss on this is at 0.22. So we're now 0.26. Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna hop off a live because I gotta go, but I'm gonna alert and exit in the chat. So once again, stop loss at 0.22. We're currently at 0.26 from our 0.27 entry. Our take profit is at 0.3, 0.32-ish. So we'll see, but it was great being on here, and let's get it tomorrow.